Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of. Whoa, that just got cut off. That was a hard cut off. Welcome to another episode of That's So Funny. Morning edition. Nah, I don't know. I'm just here trying to record. I was up late, just literally not doing anything, just sitting here hating myself. Um, oh, I was doing schoolwork. I was running late, so it was just that. Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of what really you know there was to talk about today. What do you want to talk about? And there's really like nothing. I was even looking at news last night and looking at news today, and like it's just a slow news day. There's not even anything on Twitter. What is it? It's Monday, right? So like, there's really like nothing to talk about. I'm seeing here. I'm looking. Um, no, I honestly don't know. This is the Seinfeld episode or the episode with the fly and Breaking Bad where like nothing happens, you know? I could talk about I try to think what the TV shows, I guess. What's up with that? No, they just put out like I think I talked about it, a chicken nugget, a show about a guy who gets his daughter turned into a chicken nugget, and it's like a Korean comedy drama, and there's the English dub for it. Thank the Lord. So I might watch it. I know my niece was probably already binged it in one night. She loves doing that shit. She'll just binge the shit out of a show. Me, I'll take more time, but that sounds interesting because I want to know, for one, like how they keep getting into the same hijinks of. I mean, that's classic comedy where you have like a daughter with it that's turned into a chicken nugget, and you keep getting into situations where other chicken nuggets are there and she's almost about to get eaten or mixed up. So that's just classic comedy, you know? And I just wonder the premise. And then I hope that the show ends with the season and it wraps up nicely in a bow that she gets turned back, you know? So, like, we see the end of the show and we get like a satisfactory ending, and then they could do something that leads up to season two if there is a season two, because this a lot of the shit that like gets made by Netflix and all these other companies only have one season, you know. So I could see, like, I want them to resolve this conflict of her being a chicken nugget and be turned back into a human, which I assume is the goal by the end of season one, and then do something for season two. And like I was talking to my niece about it. The ideal thing would be, and I've seen in other shows where you have at the end she turns back into a human, and then everyone's happy about it or whatever, right? And then the father ends up getting turned into a chicken nugget, and now it's her in season two trying to deal with what he dealt with in season one, but in a different context, you know. Uh, Kind of like Taken. If you saw the movie Taken, Taken 1 was about, the dude, uh his daughter being taken in the first movie, and so he has to go save her. And I believe part 2 was the one where he was taken and his daughter had to kind of help him, so that's like the better way to do it. There was also a show called, man, I wish they had put out the season 2. There was a show called Missing. If you look it up, it's still around, or it's not. It exists still. The first season, and it was just the movie Taken, but with a female. It was a TV show, and it was a female, and it was Ashley Judd, who's pretty hot. Like she's a tomboyish hot woman from fucking what was it from? I think she's from Double Jeopardy, if I remember correctly. But if you look up the TV show Missing, this is the perfect. concept of it, where the first season her son, it's the same thing as Taken. Her son goes missing and no one wants to help her out, and she's like an ex-military, blah blah blah, and so she decides to get it into her own hands, and so she ends up finding her son. But then at the end of the second season, she gets I'm sorry, at the end of the first season, whenever she finds her son and everyone's reunited and everybody's happy, she gets taken, and now it's her son who's trying to find her. So like that's pretty cool. I like that twist. It's like Taken, almost exactly like Taken, and that's what I feel like the better way to like do the fucking season would be, because at least you're wrapping up the first story and then you start a new story regardless of if it gets renewed or not, which sucks because I wanted to get renewed. There's a lot of shows that do that incorrectly, where they try to write a story arc that lasts 2 or 3 seasons and just like build the world in the first one, and then it gets canceled, and you're like, what the fuck? Like that the show I know I talked about and that I watched was Peripheral, with fucking the chick from Kick Ass. I can't remember her name right now. The young girl from Kick Ass that was all, there was a lot of guys' wet dreams, right? A lot of pedos' wet dreams, but uh, she the story there was like they were able to use like technology to like VR technology to somehow travel into the future digitally with the VR, and the people from the future are trying to fuck with the past, and every time they fuck with the past it creates like a branching timeline. And I don't know, it was interesting because she it had a lot of world building. It was good, and it ended just on the note that okay, we're gonna do more in this. We're gonna show you more in the second season, and then it just fucking, you know what I mean? Like I don't even know if it was gonna even conclude the story arc in the second season, but they just canceled it, you know. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like this is bullshit. These are bullshit. Like this was actually a pretty interesting show, even though it was like kind of confusing and shit. I really liked it, you know. It was different, but and they had a lot of VR and fucking AI and technology type shit that, you know, right now it's like a hot topic, to where it's like, oh, this is like predicting a lot of things that we're probably about to go into, you know. The whole idea of they had a plot thing where soldiers would be connected to each other, uh not they would be connected to each other through technology, right? Like a team of soldiers, like 4 or 5 soldiers or six, I forget how many. And they'd be connected to each other technologically, right? Like they were all their own little system and network, and so they're able to almost feel each other and like telepathically read each other's like thoughts and know what they're gonna do, and that just helps with like one with them bonding, because in war, you know, you need to bond, I guess, right? Because it makes it worth more, and two, it helps them, you know, stick together, uh, be a better unit, a better team. And it was pretty interesting because they had where one person could take the like if one of the people felt like, oh man, I don't feel good today, I'm having PTSD, another dude could say, oh, I'll feel that for you, like I'll take that feeling of PTSD for you, so, away from you, so you don't feel it. And so they would like I don't know, press a the little buttons they had on their uh not they're not buttons that are on their body, but like implanted underneath the skin, and they would press it and it would let them take like the pain away from their fucking uh group member, or you could even pass it on to another person. You could if you just wanted to, but usually they're like, "Nah, man, pass it to me, and I'll feel the pain for you." And they do it, and they fucking like feel the pain, and then it subsides. So it's interesting. I don't know. The world's interesting, even when there's nothing to talk about. It's pretty interesting, but I don't know. We'll have a better episode tomorrow, I guess. I don't. I'm fucking tired. I'm probably just gonna fucking sleep. But that's all funny, guys. It's a show about nothing. No, it's about nothing. What's up with that? I want to thank you for listening to the podcast. That's all funny. The one where podcasts are recorded. That's all funny. Um, if you want to listen to wrestling podcast, but me and my buddy Gabe do one called "That's All Kayfabe." Should be out today. That look for it under "That's All Kayfabe," or on. You can check out both video versions of this on the YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ Lorenzo Ariola. Videos of the podcast, other random videos of gaming, stuff like that, and also do a live show with the Great Men Salad called Tits and Areolas. That's on Tuesdays live at I think 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, and we talk about a movie we watch, play a little game. It's fun. It's rowdy. It's what's hip. Check it out, and you can check out the Patreon too for the show if you want to support the podcast. Check out patreon.com/. Lorenzo Ariola, where you get to help support it, or if you want to buy any merch, check out www.retrohorror.com. T-shirts, print stickers, or if you want to commission some great art from @RetroHorrorInc on Instagram. Thank you to the subscribers. Thank you, Patreon members. Take care.